Hello there.
I have the high ground, Anakin. Yes, episode 6 of the Obi Wan Kenobi mini-series is done. And it revealed some home truths. Well, I mean, I basically gave you the final farewell in a point of view of Anakin Skywalker talking to Obi Wan. Vader basically goes through a shit ton here. I mean, Obi-Wan, it was a close fight, but Obi-Wan definitely won it. You know, like, no two ways about it. He may have got covered in rocks and all that stuff, but he lays a smack down on Vader, slices his mask clean off, well, in half, which exposes half of his face. And we'll talk about it in the review a bit more, but Amy called that about 10 seconds before it happened, but they had to do this because, like, it's all good getting Hayden Christensen back to play the role, but we don't actually know it's him. You know what I mean? So you kind of needed that to happen. Like, obviously with last episode we saw flashbacks, but in terms of actually seeing it's him as Vader, but even here, it's still incredibly hard to tell it's him. But great acting for him, great acting for Obi-Wan, but he keeps on going to Obi-Wan keeps mentioning Anakin, but then Vader's like, Anakin's dead. Vader killed Anakin, but the voice is like going in and out of Anakin's voice and Vader's, and then Obi-Wan went, "Then my friend is truly dead." It was a pretty sad scene because I doubt they're ever going to go back to this, you know. So pretty sad from that point of view. And Anakin walks off. Well, so he walks off. He kind of just sits there, struggling to breathe on his knees, essentially. And then Obi-Wan, he takes off, leaves him, which is a bit like, I was the only thing. I mean, I'm not going to get into a review here. That is for later. But it's like, let's just set up for a final showdown between these two. Like, Obi-Wan actually being able to. It's like, this fight here should have just been in the original movie, like A New Hope or whatever the fuck the one that came out in '77 is called. But you can't. It just doesn't have the Ewan McGregor. You know, they should probably remake those movies, in my opinion. I think they should. I get it. It's hard to remake the first one because, no, you can't really use Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher's dead. But in terms of for the New Hope scenes with Anakin and fucking Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor, Christian, get them in. Telling you, because been apart for that, like, I mean, the Reva shit this episode was who gave a fuck? Oh, she's going to kill Luke, and then she didn't kill Luke, and we're supposed to mark out because she didn't kill a kid. Don't care, man. It was all about the Obi-Wan Anakin shit, and that delivered. But the Reva shit didn't. But we'll get to that later on in the review. But aye, Vader reveals that he killed Anakin. So yeah, it's the last time Obi and Anakin will ever speak.